This video is brought to you by the EA Creator Network. Hi again everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a very special speed build in The Sims 4. Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday today, yes. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're all having the most amazing day ever so far and thank you so much for joining me here today. Today this video is special because we got early access to the Sims 4 High School Years expansion pack, which is the brand new pack coming to The Sims 4 on Thursday, so tomorrow. I was lucky enough to get early access, so thank you so much once again to the EA Creator Network for allowing me early access to this incredible pack. And shock horror, we have decided to build a high school. Now, there's a slight story behind this. I was initially thinking of just building a house in the new world. I think it's called Copperdale, if I'm not mistaken. It's a beautiful world from what I've seen so far. It's potentially gonna overtake Brindleton Bay as my favourite world, depending on, I haven't really explored it much as of yet. I literally got access last night and I decided to build this high school, but the vibes and everything about it, it's just, there's something that draws me to it and I love it very much. So yes, we are building this high school on the 64 by 64 lot. This lot took me around 7 or 8 hours on and off to build. I've poured my heart and my soul into this build, so I'm really hoping you enjoy it. I had an absolute blast. When I first started it, I was initially very skeptical. I was terrified to even start recording, and then I thought, do you know what? Let's just do it. I'm not gonna know if I can do it until I try, right? And I am so pleased with the results with this build. Now, I would like to very soon try a different style of high school, like an Art Deco or like more modern, maybe a British themed. This is stereotypical in my opinion, like American high school. Obviously, I know that like schools all across the world, there are some nice schools, there are some not so nice schools. My intention with this school was to just make it a really happy place, somewhere fun for you and your Sims to enjoy during gameplay. Now, speaking of gameplay, I have play tested this entire build. It works beautifully in gameplay, and I was picking up some tips and tricks from other people who have played with the pack a little bit longer than me, and I was thinking, because I wanted to get this out today, so I'm thinking, I was making mental notes, I was making some notes on my phone and just sort of thinking, this is what I need to do. So there are just a few things that I'm going to explain. So although this build is a 2-story build, there is nothing on the second floor. Now, there is a reason for this before you think, well, what are you doing? There is a complete reason for this, and the reason for this is that when your teen Sims are at school, you are with them the entire day. You can send them to school and not follow them, or you can follow them to school. It's a lot of fun. They have class time, they have break time, they can go to the canteen, like whatever they want to do, they can do. So with this, I decided from the feedback that I had sort of seen on other YouTube videos regarding the gameplay to keep it all on one level. We have absolutely everything that this high school requires in terms of lot requirements. I'm just going to read them off very quickly for you. So the high school lot requires toilets, 2 sinks, 2 whiteboards, 1 high school cafeteria station, but we'll be talking a little bit more about that when we get onto the cafeteria. We need a principal's desk, a loudspeaker, desks, lockers, and a dining table. That's it. That's all you need. So it's actually really simple in terms of the requirements. Excuse me, the requirements. I can say that word, I promise. The requirements for this particular lot type, it's very simple. So I wanted this lot to be very gameplay friendly, but I also wanted it to be very aesthetically pleasing as well, which is why I included the second floor for this lot. If you want to expand upon this and add a second floor, please feel free to do so. You know that you're more than welcome to edit my builds to use with your gameplay style. But for me personally, and from what I've personally seen with the gameplay, everything works a lot better when it's all just on one floor. So it was just much easier for me in terms of gameplay to keep it on one floor. I hope that makes sense, but trust me, this high school has everything that you could possibly want, and we will speak more about that when we get onto the different sort of rooms, but we are currently working on the exterior. The exterior took me as long as the interior for the build. It was pretty much split right down the middle, 50-50, which is quite unusual for me. Usually my interiors take me a lot longer, but as you can see, there's quite a lot of detail that goes into the outside of this build. Again, I know I wanted to keep it gameplay friendly, but I also wanted it to be full of detail, full of life, and like this is a living, breathing high school. Please let me know what you think down in the comments below. I think I can safely say, put my hand on my heart right now and say this is one of my favorite builds I've ever done in The Sims. I think because I was so terrified of doing it, it's such a daunting thing doing a high school, because I think you think in your head it has to be this huge like mansion build. It doesn't necessarily need to be that for gameplay and for storytelling. I think this is a perfect example of that, but we will speak more about that when we get onto the interior. So yes, the exterior, it took me a while. It really did. I did work from a reference image. Unfortunately, I cannot put that on screen because I'm pretty sure I would get told off if I did that. I think I found it on like this website and it's all watermarked and things. I don't want to get into trouble for it. So if you Google American high school exterior, it's one of the first few options. I know I'm so original, right? But I did put my own flair on it. I did put my own sort of landscaping designs. I go through various stages with this build with different decisions, and then I tweak some stuff off camera as well. If I were to include absolutely all the footage that I had of this build, you would be sat here with me for nearly an hour. I'm not joking. This is already just short of 40 minutes long. So I'm going to be breathing a lot because I talk really fast. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm excited. Particularly today, I'm so excited to be able to share this with you all. And this will be available to download as soon as the pack is released tomorrow. So do not forget to check back on either here, or I do post my gallery ID and all my my tray files on my other social medias, so on Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram as well. So if you follow me on there, you can grab the tray files or the origin ID from there. But as you can see, the high school has already taken shape, and the only things we sort of add now are more detailing. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to get the shell and the shape situated, and that I knew that I was just going to keep going with this build, because I tend to go through sort of phases when I'm building, and I'll think there'll be a certain point when I either keep going or I ditch it. This is at a point now, like the footage that you're seeing was at a point where I'm like, I'm not going to ditch this, but there's still something about it that's just missing. There were points when I'm thinking, this doesn't look like a school, it looks more like a mansion, and that's definitely not the vibe that I wanted to go for. So I had like this clock tower bit in the middle of the build that has the clock from, I want to say, Get Together on it, and I think that, along with the landscaping, and then I added some like no, they're not really bike sheds, they're more like bike shelters. I started adding that kind of stuff, and all of a sudden it started to come together really nicely. So let me know what you think. Does this look like a house or does it look like a school? I think it looks like a school, but please be brutally honest with me. Just tell me exactly what you think. But here we are. These are the bike sheds. They are from the debug menu from the high school pack. Now, me being a builder, I go straight to the debug menu when a new pack comes out because I love picking out all the debug items. And then I add a lot of bikes under here. They're all sort of skew width and a little bit out of place because, let's face it, the school's full of teens and they're just going to be sort of like bunging their bikes in here willy-nilly and just sort of walking away. So I wanted it to be not very sort of like uniform, I guess is the word that I'm trying to use there. So yes, again, adding more detailing outside. I initially wanted to outline the lot with this wall and then it just didn't look right. So I end up outlining just the path instead, which I think works a lot better. Now, the only problem that I was finding when I was looking at reference images of high schools was that you don't really see the grounds as such, you see the exterior. I did use some different reference images for the interior on the classrooms just to get an idea of the layout more than anything else, and then I sort of like went to town on adding colour, and it's just a really happy school. But I did use reference images for the classrooms, but when it came to the exterior of the build, I couldn't really find any of the grounds. Like, how does a high school fit together and like look realistic? I struggled a lot, so I had to sort of improvise in a lot of parts, and I'm quite proud of myself actually, because I don't usually improvise that much with my builds in terms of layouts. I'll improvise in terms of like decorating and landscaping and going for my own color schemes and things like that, but when it comes to like layouts, I really was sort of on my own with this one. So I just thought, well, this kind of works. I also end up putting, oh, this is really cute, I end up putting like an outbuilding at the back on the right of the build, because it's a 64 by 64 lot, and as you can see, the actual building itself isn't overly massive. I didn't want to have, again, go back to the gameplay thing, this huge massive building that your Sims, you know, it could take them 2-3 hours to walk from one side to the other, because you're just going to waste an entire school day just simply walking through the build. So I wanted to make sure that it was just like a little bit more compact, but not tiny either. That, you know, the worst thing I could have done is make this too small. I can't remember what the points are. Oh, yes, sorry. Okay. So I built like a little outbuilding at the back. Now, I'm going to tell you what's in it because I may as well. So initially I was thinking it was going to be a gym. Then I was thinking it was going to be an indoor pool. And then when it came down to it, I decided to turn it into like where your Sims would celebrate prom. How that works with gameplay, I'm not entirely sure, because there is an auditorium, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, just to the right of this build on a separate lot that changes for graduation, prom, and everything like that. So you do have that as well. But I wanted to see if I could turn like this sort of exterior building gym into a prom room so that your Sims can celebrate prom here too. It'd be very interesting to see, because the items are there, if your Sims can actually celebrate prom here officially. I'm not entirely sure. I did not get that far into the gameplay, unfortunately, so please let me know if it works. If it doesn't, then please feel free to do with that outbuilding whatever you want to do. I'm not going to be too precious about it. I just thought it was a really cute idea to try and showcase some of the prom items as well. So the landscaping is almost, I think, coming to an end at the front of the build. I can't really remember, and I am going to have to clear my throat at some point, so if you feel a cut in the audio, that's just me clearing my throat. I think it's okay for now though. So yeah, exterior here, I do add these two like floor decor items from the new pack. I think the idea is that it's like the school's logo or something like that. Whether that works on this concrete, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm not going to get too precious about it. I'm still really proud of this. So I do add some bins around and also some benches too. So if your Sims are on break, they don't have to go to the cafeteria. They can go and shoot hoops in the back, because there's a basketball court. There's like a little cute bench underneath the tree as well. It just has everything. I think this build has absolutely everything that you and your Sims could possibly need to live through this high school experience in The Sims. And I'm so glad that we finally have this pack. I know that as a community, collectively, we have been wanting this for so long, and I'm just really excited. The team, from what I've seen so far, have done an incredible job with this pack. Like, I've just seen like the build by items, and I have touched on some of the gameplay because obviously I had to play test the build, and it was wonderful to see like my high school come to life. You know, there were teachers at the whiteboards teaching the students. All the students were at their desks making notes in their notebooks. They all went to the canteen and had something to eat there. They were playing basketball in the back. It was really, really, really nice to watch. And I think for me personally, I live vicariously through this because I did not have a good experience at high school. We call it secondary school in the UK. I had a horrible experience. I was bullied relentlessly, and I think for me it's just nice to live vicariously through The Sims in this way, because like I can give my Sims sort of the high school experience that I never had, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to get all soppy. I'm not looking for like any sort of like compliments or anything like that, or, oh, it's okay, Rach, like I'm over it, it's fine. But this is just a really nice outlet for me. So working on the back of the build, this for some reason was a bit glitchy for me. I don't know if it's because of the new patch that we got last night. I think in terms of like the game as a whole, I experienced some launching issues through Origin as well. It took my PC like 10 minutes to launch The Sims, when normally it launches in like 20 seconds. It just took like 10 minutes for the game to even load. Once I was in, everything was perfectly fine. And then I was experiencing this really weird glitch with the columns not snapping onto the wall, and then like the normal trick that I use for this, like it wasn't working, and I'm thinking, what am I doing wrong? And I was getting so upset. I was just like, why is it not working? But I got there in the end. It's just that I did decide for some unknown reason to put this struggle in the build, which is a little bit embarrassing, but it's fine. It is what it is. We all struggle at times, and this was one of those moments where I was struggling, so here we are. So again, working on the exterior at the back, these are new windows from the high school years pack as well. I think they work really, really well. There is one that works on the curved wall as well. How have I not talked about that already? So we did use a curved wall at the front of the build, which the reference image I was working from had a square front, and then I was like, well, hang on a minute, we've got curved walls now, like why don't I just try and utilize some curved walls as well in this space? So that's what I end up doing on this particular build, and I think all in all it works better than a square front. I think it just gives the front a little bit more dimension, a little bit more of a unique shape, and it's a bit more eye-catching, or at least I think so anyway, but maybe I'm just biased because it is something that I built. Anyway, so again, still having a struggle with the columns here. I've no idea why I included this in the footage. If you haven't grabbed a drink already, just leave it playing, and grab a hot beverage or a cold, like whatever you want to do, because it's just embarrassing at this point. Then I decided to change the colour of the brick from more of like a red tone to a brown tone. Now this does look slightly different in the screenshots because I built this on like a slightly clouded day in the summer, and then the screenshots were taken in the heat wave, so naturally the heat wave has warmed the brick up a little bit, so it looks less brown and more red. This is the outbuilding that I'm very excited for. I wasn't initially even going to add this, and then I figured I wanted some sort of gym space. In my head while I was doing this, I was like, I'm just going to turn this into a gym, as I said, or a swimming pool, or like somewhere where the cheerleaders can do their cheer practice. I very quickly scrapped the last idea because there is a chair mat. You can see it on the football field just at the back. It's the red one, so your Sims can already cheer over there anyway, so I didn't really feel the need to add one into the school as well. So what's really nice about this lot as well, just talking about that football field, is that it looks directly out onto the football field, and I think that's really, really nice. I've also noticed from some of the lots that I was looking at, they seem to be a little bit more... How do I explain this well? I'm not going to, so I don't know why I'm trying so hard. I'm not very good at explaining things. They're a lot more flush to like the edge of the roads and the pavements and things like that, so it just seems a little bit more well put together than some of the other worlds that we have. I don't know if that's just me, or maybe I'm not thinking properly. I've no idea. I told you I'm not very good at explaining things, and I just decided to try it anyway. Right, all over. So I did put like this sort of like elevated area here that leads onto the outbuilding and then leads onto the back of the building as well. I also changed the window just on the left here to a door. That's where the cafeteria is, so your Sims can come and sit outside if they want to and have their meal, which I thought was a really cute idea. I used these picnic tables. I think they're from, is it the toddler stuff pack? Completely randomly. I just thought they worked really well because like they're plastic looking, and I thought it fit in really, really well with the school. I was experiencing some more glitches here in that I was like clicking on things and there was a slight, not lag with my PC, but more like a lag within the game. Like it wasn't registering that I was clicking anything, and then for some reason it deleted the entire first floor. Like that's glitchy for me, but again, hopefully that'll all get ironed out in the next few weeks. I know there's an issue with aging. I haven't played for more than 1 or 2 days, so I haven't noticed a glitch with aging in my game, but there is a glitch with aging, so hopefully they'll be able to like whip up a quick patch. I say whip up like it's an easy thing to do, I know it's not, to try and fix that. So anyway, yes, this is the outside here. I really, really like this space, and it was really important for me to have plenty of options for the teens. So when they come here, they can do things like off their own back. You're not going to necessarily have to ask them to do certain things because they'll just go and do them because there's a plethora of activities. Because of course it's a school. So the fact that I added a basketball court, again, I really wanted to ensure that that was in there as well. The basketball court and the hoops are from City Living, I believe. It would have been nice if they'd have included something with this pack in terms of sport. I know you can do some sport things, but like they could have added some, I don't know. Maybe I'm misspeaking because they might have already added some like stuff. I don't know. I'm just going to stop talking. So this is the this is the basketball court. I think it looks really nice. It just gives off that school vibe. And then I was thinking maybe the basketball court could go in the outbuilding, and then I could put like a swimming pool out here. And then I thought that's just, for me, not realistic. I don't know how many schools have like just a pool in the grounds, like not sheltered. It just seemed a little bit weird to me, so that's why I decided to do the prom thing in the outbuilding. But that is at the very end of the video because, fun fact, I thought I'd finished this build a few hours ago, and I was like, I finished, it's going to be out on time. It's still going to be out on time. Like, embargo lifts at 7 p.m. It's currently 4:30. I might be cutting it a little bit fine, but I just wanted to make sure that everything was perfect before I release this. So I was like, okay, everything's gonna be fine. And then I had a moment of clarity, and I was like, hang on a minute, I did an outbuilding. I haven't done anything with the outbuilding. And I kicked myself, honestly. I was just like, I cannot believe I forgot. I put the outbuilding there on purpose, just to add a little bit more for you Sims to do, and then I completely forgot to even decorate it. Like, embarrassing. So that's why that's right at the end of the video. So we are just adding some detailing to the exterior of the outbuilding, including these like turquoise benches from the new pack. I thought it was just a nice place for your Sims to sit. I was just about to say there's so many seats inside and outside of this build. Like, your Sims are never going to be short of spaces to have a seat. So I just think that's a really cool idea. And I know that I touched on this at the start of the video about the build by objects, but they are amazing. Like, I love them so much. I was expecting more build and buy objects though. Like, the items that we got are amazing, but I was for some reason expecting more of them, with it being with it being an expansion pack. And now I'm trying not to be greedy here, because obviously the pack came with a new world, and it's quite a large world as well. A new world, we can like decorate and build our own high schools, which is something that I didn't actually think that we were going to be able to do until we all saw the live stream, and I was like, that's perfect, I know what I can do for my first build. And like we've got all new gameplay and things like that, but I was just expecting more build by objects. I don't know why. Like, when you look at the catalogue just by itself, it just seems a little bit light in my opinion, and like that's not including the debug items, because you can't really include them, you know, just items from the catalogue that you can freely access. I was just expecting more of them. I hope I'm not being greedy. And I must say, we got like 5 or 6 different new rugs, which I thought was really random. I'm not complaining because they're all really, really cool. I just thought that was like a completely random thing. Anyway, I've talked throughout the entire floor plan. So I did use these new lights from the new pack as well. They're very orange toned by default, so if the footage looks a little bit yellowy, then that's why. I do change it for the screenshots to the neutral colour, and it just totally changed the look of the build. Anyway, I digress. So I do like this entranceway with a reception area, which I thought was really cute. The school that I went to in the UK had something quite similar. It wasn't as fancy as this, it wasn't as clean and nice as this, but I was thinking in my head that the school would have a reception area, right? So I decided to do like this open wall with like a half wall in between. Now the corridor to the right hand side, that leads to this room, and I used a door that only staff can use, or at least that's what I've been led to believe by the description of the door. So I'm hoping, I didn't have any issues when I was playing in the school. I didn't play for like 5 days. I think I played for 2 days, and I had no issue with any Sims wandering like where they shouldn't be or anything like that. And then I included the principal's office and then a staff room for the staff as well, which I thought was a really nice idea. But again, we'll talk more about that when we actually get onto those rooms. The reception area, I don't know why I struggled so much trying to figure out what to do. I think it's because I was initially thinking that the school was going to be like quite run down and like just really traditional, and then as I started going through, I was pulling out all these items and I was being drawn to certain swatches, and I felt a little bit overwhelmed, I guess, because I didn't really know where to start with the interior of this build. I always thought the exterior was going to be the hardest part for me, but I actually found the interior to be hard at first. And then once I got into the groove of it, it came quite easily, because especially the classrooms are really, 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 really awesome. If I were to build another high school again, I would probably include 2 more classrooms, like an art room, a science room, and things like that. The only reason I included only 2 classrooms was because that's all that's really required for gameplay within the pack. Again, with me wanting it to be more focused around gameplay and making it easy for you guys to use, that's why I decided to use just the 2 classrooms. I could have put the outbuilding as another classroom or an art room. That would have been really nice as an art studio, or even like a science room, because like it's its own space, but I decided against it. So if you need another classroom, then take out like the prom stuff from the outbuilding. It's pretty versatile in that respect, so there is a lot of space. I'm downplaying it. Anyway, still working on the entrance. I do add some lockers here. Now, I'm realistic. I know that there wouldn't necessarily be lockers in the entrance. It's just that I was struggling with what else to put there. I'm just going to be totally honest with you. I was struggling with what else to put here, so I just started pulling out some like wall decorations and making things look really bright and colourful and cheery. It was really important for me for this school to be just really happy, and I have mentioned this 3 times already, but it was just really important for it to be such a happy place, and this is what we ended up coming up with, so I hope you like it. This is the cafeteria. I love this space so much. Again, I was struggling a lot with this as well. I started to get my groove, I think, when I was doing the principal's office, totally randomly. I don't know what happened. It's like a light switch just flicked, and I was like, woo, I can do this. But up until this point, I was struggling just a little bit, so I do apologise. But I think we got there in the end. There's 3 tables in here. I think each table sits with a T, 6 Sims. I don't actually know how many Sims can spawn on this lot total. I don't know whether it's like automatically capped or whether it goes by how many desks you have or something like that. I'm not entirely sure the science of it and how that works. It would be quite interesting to do a bit of research into that, because as I said, I am planning on doing another high school build after I've recharged my batteries, because I'm going to be honest, this has taken it out of me just a little bit, in a good way. I'm just saying, you know, my batteries are almost flat, so give me a little bit of time to recharge and I'll try a different style of high school. And I would like to do a little bit more research into how many Sims can actually be housed here at any one time. I've got in my head 16, but I think that I might be thinking of that from the My Wedding Stories pack, when you can have 16 Sims at the wedding or something like that. Anyway, I digress. The cafeteria is almost done, as I've been having, excuse me, another ramble. Normally by now my voiceovers would be done. This is a much longer build for obvious reasons. It's a big lot, so I kind of had to I don't know, put the time in, I guess. So that's the cafeteria done. This is the staff room. It's a fantastic place for your teachers to go. They can make something to eat. There's a microwave, a sink and a fridge in here. There's also like an old TV in here as well. There's like a sofa and a couple of chairs. Just a really nice chill out space. If you don't want this to be a staff room, you could turn it into, again, whatever you wanted to turn it into. I was just thinking in my head, okay, what would a school have? The only thing I didn't include was like a nurse's office. In terms of realism, yes, but in terms of gameplay, like, your Sims aren't going to use a nurse's office, so I didn't really feel the need to include that. So again, if you don't want this here, then please feel free to change it. There's not much going on in here really because it's quite a small space. I didn't want this to be like massive because there's just no need. While I was playing, I think on the second day, one of the teachers came in here and they watched TV on this cute little sofa that came with the new pack. Look how cute that sofa is. I'm obsessed. Technically it's a love seat, not a sofa, but you know what I mean. And these cute little chairs are from the new pack as well. And I really like the items from the pack. As much as I was complaining that there aren't very many, the ones that we do have, they're just perfect. They're absolutely perfect. So this is the principal's office, I believe. This had to be included as part of the lot requirement. One would assume so that the principal can come in here and I don't know, do interviews or like serve detentions. I'm not entirely sure gameplay wise how this works. I know when I was playing, the principal was in here, but she wasn't interacting with the students that were in the game for me. Again, the longer you play, I'm sure that changes. So again, quite a small room, but I was just thinking what would be in a principal's office. I didn't actually start researching interiors of high schools until I got onto the classrooms. And all I did for that was like, because I know what classrooms look like. Everybody knows what classrooms look like. I was going for like a stereotypical American suburban high school. Like that's what I was looking for. And I merely used the reference images just for placement of items rather than for themes or colours or anything else. I can't wait for you to see the classrooms. They are my all-time favourite part of this build on the inside. The exterior still takes it for me, but like the classrooms are really, really nice. I really enjoy them. But I wanted to add as much detailing in here as I possibly could without going over the top. Again, gameplay friendly, people. It's gameplay friendly. So I just wanted it to be, I don't know, easily accessible, but still with the right amount of clutter just to give that sense of realism. And then I go through and add some of these like speakers on the wall so that when like they do like a tannoy, I think they do it from reception. I don't think they do it actually in the game. I'm just thinking like in real life, they'll probably do it from reception. Like they'll call out a student's name of like, can so-and-so please report to reception? And then it just goes over the entire school. Anyway, I'll tell you what else is really cute with this pack. While I was playing, like after each lesson, the school bell rings. How cute is that? Like, I don't know why I was expecting it not to, but the school bell rang and I was like, oh, that's so nice. Anyway, this is the toilet. Not much going on in here. I do add 2 toilets and a sink. I had to add toilets, so this is the toilet space. I didn't really feel the need to add like gender specific toilets. They're just, any sim can go in here. I thought that was quite important as well. Not much going on. There's a couple of chairs for some reason in each corner. I don't know, maybe they're having like a session where they have a chat in the toilet and someone sits on the chair. Oh my gosh, okay. I'll tell you why it is. It's because I'm in my office and I have to close my window while I'm doing a voiceover and I'm getting really, really warm. And I've been talking for over half an hour now. It's just like mind blown. This is the first classroom. I love this classroom so much. It's definitely my favourite of the two. The colours, the placement of the items, everything's perfect. All the Sims could do what they needed to do. I was so excited when I was taking my screenshots. Like you'll see at the end of the video, like the teachers at the front with the board and the students are taking notes. I was like, oh, it's coming to life. I love this so much. Oh, okay, I'm going to calm down now. So what I also do is at the end, I put like each desk a little bit skew width, like on a bit of a wonk, because again, it's a school and kids just like get up off their desk and just run out. So I figured, they're not exactly going to be, poker straight. So I had some lockers in here as well. Don't ask me why. I know this is probably more relevant like in junior school in the UK. I know we had lockers in so we each had like class sets and we would have a particular classroom where we were based. Does that make sense? And I was thinking I know when I was in junior school, we used to have lockers in those classrooms so that we could keep our stuff in there rather than in the hallways. That changed when we went to high school, so I don't know why I included them in this school because this is a high school. I'll tell you what would be really fun. It would be to do like a primary school, junior school, whatever you want to call it, a primary school like for children, because I'm sure now that we've got the high schools pack, maybe we could do something like that. Although I don't think it would work because obviously we can't actually go to the location with the child Sims forget what I said. This is the second classroom. This is still really nice. It's pretty much the same size and shape. No, it's the same size and shape, but it has a little bit of a different layout, a little bit of a different theme going on. And I did something slightly different with the desks as well, just to mix things up a little bit. I didn't want everything to be too like the same, because I wanted it to be visually interesting for you if you're doing like storytelling, or if you're just playing through with your Sims and you're just trying to immerse yourself in the actual gameplay. So I did this thing with the desks in the middle, so I pushed two together. I don't know why I'm making a big deal about it, and I don't even know why I did it actually, but hey ho, I did it. So again, I added a computer in here as well, because I did not do that in the other classroom. If I were to do another school again, I'd love to have a room where there were just loads of computers. But again, for gameplay, it's just not relevant. Your Sims are not going to go to an ICT lesson or a computer lesson. Like, they're just not going to do that. So for my first high school build, I wanted to just keep things a little bit more simple. I don't know if I'm getting that across. I think I've mentioned it 20 times. So I won't mention it again, I promise. So yeah, different colour scheme going on in here. I really like how this room turned out. I knew I was going to have fun building a high school. I just didn't know exactly how much fun I was going to have, and I can't wait to do it again. I am already thinking about the next build, which I'm hoping will be released this weekend if this hasn't drained me too much. I do have the weekend off work, so I'm thinking of doing a house in Copperdale, so I think that might be kind of cool as well, to explore like how the items can integrate themselves into like just a suburban house. Look at this rug, by the way. This rug is so awesome. Again, I know it doesn't seem very high schooly. I just really wanted it to be a fun, happy place. Okay, fun, happy place. So that's why there's a lot of colour. There's some rugs here and there. I know realistically in schools you're not going to see many rugs because they just get ruined. Then I had to add some more lockers for the lock requirement, and I did change these off camera, because what I noticed was we've got like single, double, and then triple, then quadruple lockers, if my memory serves me correctly, and only like the 4 lockers counted as one locker space, so I had to change them out, but it's no big deal. And I do add a little fire extinguisher here, and then I go around and add some of the what do you call them, like the fire escape signs, you know, the green ones. I do add some of them to some of the rooms, just for, again, a little bit more realism. If you're taking screenshots and you catch that in the corner, it just adds a little bit more detail. But then we do move on to the outbuilding. Look at this. I did already do like this little platform, and then all of the flooring, and then the wall decor as well. But I decided to turn this into like a little prom wonderland. Again, if this isn't really your thing, then please feel free to change it. But if it is, then here we are, we're showcasing some of the prom items. So I just thought it was a really nice idea. There's a little photo booth here so your Sims can take pictures. It's just so cute. I can't cope. I'd love to, I am planning on doing a let's play actually. I need to actually create the family. There's so much I want to do. My mind's going 100 miles an hour. And I'd love to use this school actually within the gameplay, because it's just worked so incredibly well, and it's come out so much better than I could have ever thought, and I'm so proud of it. So I'm really hoping you enjoyed it. But then I had a look at like gyms that have been turned into spaces for prom, and I had a look, and there were these canopies with the lights, so I thought I'd include them. These came with the new pack. I just thought it was a really cute idea. We do change it slightly, and I do tone it back because it was just looking a little bit too crazy at one point. And then I just add some sort of wall decor pieces. I put some candles on the table as well. So if it were me, I would definitely turn off all the lights in this room and just have the candles, because there are some fairy lights around as well, and I just think it looked really special. But I will wrap up here. Thank you so much for sticking with me, but you will be able to get this high school from the gallery tomorrow after the pack's released. My origin ID is RachelPedd. Tray files will be listed down below tomorrow. You can get them for free from SimFileShare. But thank you so much for joining me here today, everyone. Thank you so much once again to the EA Creator Network for allowing me early access to this amazing pack. I had an absolute blast. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.